Hi folks, we are back at the 8 Regions tournament. So this is round 3 against Baratheon, and we are going to be watching my game from this match that was originally recorded without commentary. So I believe it's 3-1 in our favor at this point, so chances to go 4-1 up. But I have a tough opponent in Schwaig. And really the most worrying thing in this entire game was seeing what agenda my opponent would reveal. Because I'm playing a mill deck that it's kind of weird. It has almost a guaranteed win against some matchups and can't beat others. So if Schwaig showed up with something really quick that gains a lot of power, like Cohort or Brotherhood or Alliance, I might be in trouble. But seeing Assault from the Shadows, I knew I had an excellent chance, because I played this matchup in testing a few times, and yeah, Assault struggled. I tried my best from the Baratheon perspective to gain as much unopposed power as possible, using Black Cells to stop defenders, using Imri really aggressively, Fickle Bannerman wherever I could, and I did, I think, once get to 11 or 13 power, so it is possible, but this is in Tyrell's favor, I think. And we are starting with some Econ and Golden Grove is there, so that's one of the pieces, because it can stand locations. The two mill pieces really are Queen's Crown that reveals cards, discards a character, and Sweet Robin, because when cards are revealed, Sweet Robin can intercept one and remove it from the game. So those are the two cards you need. But we don't have them, and we don't have that much draw in the opening hand, just that in at the crossroads, but drawing into Pleasure Barge now, which should be quite helpful. And Melisandre is there, okay. She might kneel stuff and get some unopposed that way. But as long as it's not too fast, we are not that worried. And unfortunately, Pleasure Barge has not drawn the two cards I was looking for. I still have a Gift of Arbor Red. Usually you play that with Sweet Robin in play in one of the phases so that he can remove something, but can also be used to search for him. And it's quite a lot of cards, right, to have access to in round 1. And yes, unfortunately, Shield Islands mills one every round because it increases the draw. That result can search for a 1-cost card, so that's an option to search for Queen's Crown. And what do we give Baratheon here? Eldon, no Black Cells in play, but he's a useful character. Traitor is a good way to get unopposed, and didn't want to give him Sin in Flames really. Didn't want him to discard my cards if something is not getting marshaled here, but is still an important piece, for instance. And playing this, trying to draw Queen's Crown really, and misses completely. Yeah, what can you do? Have left or a right alone here without left. Can play him though, because Assault isn't probably not going to kill stuff off. And yeah, Queen's Retinue and Shadows can come in for free to defend one challenge. And at the moment I have not actually played any mill stuff. Here comes the Glass Candle, so this could still be mistaken for a wall defense deck, which is what we played with the other Banner Watch this round. Robert tried to defend the wall, and was quite a sensible attempt, but just ran into an impossible matchup there, and couldn't be done. So we know that some kind of kneel is coming from Melisandre now. Probably traitors find their way into Shadows. Kneeling my military icon. What I didn't want is for a military icon to be marshaled on the other side, because don't have that many characters, and Aemon could be also used to defend instead of just soaking up claim. Yeah, giving the extra throne in a normal game would be fine. You'd leave that on top potentially, but unless it's Citadel Archivist, anything that I see gets discarded. And that result gets blocked, which means I will suffer some unopposed whatever happens now. Well, actually I have Queen's Retinue, which I could bring out. So at the moment Golden Grow can really only stand Glass Candle, and I was looking at that. I didn't miss the interaction, but for some reason I thought it's absolutely guaranteed now that Melisandre will do power, and I wanted to wait till the very last moment. For some reason there's no actual benefit to waiting for the trigger, but yeah, Schwaig surprised me by passing here. And Mace again is another card that doesn't quite reveal my plans, so he takes red keep here, which I'm delighted to see. And now, since Barasalt opens the Maiden and not at the gates, means we can do City of Secrets. That gives us cards. We can find the missing pieces, gives him cards as well, draws 2 for him, and he doesn't get to keep them, which is even better. And Brand the Builder. Yeah, it's in this deck to search for Chamber, for Storm's End, for Econ. But yeah, the goal, as you can see, is basically not to do any challenges ever, because you don't want power on your faction card, so Chamber should have nothing to do. You just oppose, and now got left as well, which is pretty nice, but didn't get to draw Queen's Crown or Sweet Robin still, so yeah, I didn't have time in the beginning of this video, but I can say now, of course, that this is inspired from the Night's Watch version of this deck, Night's Watch Banner of the Rose, and I was looking at the deck. So originally when we discussed which agendas to take and stuff like that, Banner Watch seemed like a wall defense, and we weren't really keen on it that much, but when I looked at that Night's Watch deck more closely, I saw that really nothing is loyal there. Just Trixie Bird is loyal, but all the mill pieces are non-loyal, and you could play it from Tyrell's perspective as well. Just go Banner Watch. And then of course I talked to Yotam, who created the deck, and he had some ideas how to do it from Tyrell's point. And in the end I didn't really change it that much from that first draft. Seemed to work really fine, really nicely against most decks. It's just not running into something unfavorable, that is the key. And in this tournament, always a gamble. There's no faction that you can absolutely play this against and know that they will not have anything fast that beats you. So left and right in play. Eldon is there, can stand black cells. The problem is, so they really need to be nailed by Melisandre here, because they don't kneel. If you black cells them, they can still defend without kneeling, and Eldon just used to get more econ. Shadow card can come out. Am I right that it doesn't have a token, so it's a natural shadow card? And here we are again, just passing, going to try to defend, and if Baratheon gets one unopposed through, it's not a disaster. It's really slow power gain. don't particularly mind the Brand the Builder search as well, that takes more cards out of the deck. We're doing that again with Golden Growth. The only thing it can stand is Glass Candle. And I've passed again, but this time I'm sure challenges are coming because of Brand the Builder. And still missing the mill pieces to really confirm to Schwaig that this is the plan. Could still be expecting the wall at this point, but yeah, you'll know in a second if he doesn't already. He probably does, because this deck is not really a secret. We all know it's there. It's not necessarily a great tournament deck, although we know that Alex won a friendly open event with Night's Watch Penrose. But in 8 regions, there's all kinds of decks that work for single games rather than playing a bunch of rounds in a single tournament. Storm's End is found, but changing challenges into power means probably not very much, because there's no power for the opponent to steal off my faction card. The only way it could help is if traitors come in, and then changing into power helps you get unopposed. Now, an accidental benefit here is that the left and right also have no attachments, so can't even traitor them, which is very nice. Nothing in my hand that desperately need to keep. Happy to lose on defense. Actually, I do have Lay Waste, so there is a play available potentially. Lay Waste my own shield islands to find Queen's Crown. I can do this first to see if I get it. Still nothing. I considered it briefly, but I thought with another City of Secrets coming, probably I still have a decent shot of finding it. Yeah, as you can see, I included the pointy end just as an outside chance. Give me more time if it's something fast. Doesn't really help if you face Kohor. Doesn't save the game magically, but maybe against something that is not quite that kind of extreme rush, but still can win before it gets milled. And for Fickle Bannerman as well, which over the course of this game, so we've seen all the cards basically that Baratheon has, and no Fickle Bannerman from what I remember. So that's that one piece that could have put me under pressure, and doesn't seem to be there, unfortunately for Schwaig. I myself took a lot of convincing to include Fickle Bannerman in Bar Assault. Played it for a long time without it, and then the version that Anselm, I think, played at Stalek had it, and the one that was published by Djokovic. And yeah, it kind of makes sense. You should be able to defend power challenges with traitors and black cells and red keep, and not lose Fickle Bannerman. And sometimes there's just that one leftover gold to bestow it one, and then it's a rise one trigger if it's critical. So I've drawn Sweet Robin now. Doesn't have Queen's Crown, so marshalling him would be pointless, but I have Pleasure Barge, hoping still to find the missing piece. I wonder if I had this left and right here with wall, would I beat Bar Assault? They can kneel pretty aggressively and play black cells. Wonder if I'd be able to keep the wall standing. Because I have a lot of characters. I could just spam the board, right? And try to defend. Yeah, and this is exactly what I needed. So now we are in business. Now Sweet Robin cannot die. So I know that Bar Assault probably not playing Morgulis, but can't risk it. But we have a solution. We have Winged Knight, and he is a lord, so if suddenly Morgulis is played, Winged Knight can remove him from the game instead of getting him killed. But, we can do this now, and wasting no time. So characters, the Queen's Crown itself can remove characters easier than it can a non-character, so if a non-character is revealed, that's the first thing Sweet Robin needs to take. Just wondering if I'm in trouble, if I need some cards to be in play here, or can I play that Arbor? Would be really nice, right? For the rest of the game, now that I have 2 pleasure barges. And seems like I have Sweet Robin protected, so Arbor and 1 gold left, may as well be another glass candle. He can take that himself as an attachment in case something tries to target him. There's really only a Shadow Priestess, but whether Sweet Robin is standing or knelt makes no difference. And now we're not going to be standing glass candles. We're going to be standing Queen's Crown with that golden grow. There was an Orton revealed earlier, so it would be nice to get him as well. Mace has been discarded for Intrigue Claim earlier. Orton is the other card that can stand cards with golden grow. And Littlefinger as well is in the deck. I think those have the small council trait. Looking at Mattis as well, but because he can potentially even use his ability, for instance, give shield islands to the opponent. Doesn't seem to hurt us at all if you do that. And we're going to be using Sweet Robin in challenges as well, because that's a phase where he still hasn't triggered. So once per phase we need to reveal cards if we can. That's the goal. And now it's clear what we're doing, and finally, after all that draw we had with the pleasure barges and the plot, we're finally up on cards. We have 27 left and the opponent has 24. And now you'll see we are in round 3 how quickly that 24 goes down towards 0. Yeah, Schwaig thinking about challenges. The problem is none of it really works. He can kill off one of the dupes from what is it, right? It's if you were playing in real life, I think you'd sort them so that left is on the left side and right is right, but they're in the wrong order here. Just take that dupe. Claim doesn't really hurt. Everything we need is in play, so even Intrigue Claim doesn't hurt. The only chance Schwaig has is to get power on his faction card. On mine as well, if he could get it and take it with Chamber and with Power Claim. But really, he needs to really aggressively use Black Cells and Eldon to try to win challenges unopposed, if he can. Honestly, so I'm defending with 2 here. Honestly, wasn't really thinking that much about conceding some unopposed. Have that Queen's Retinue, right? That could come in and really try to defend everything, but it's not urgent, because even if I concede some power, it's currently 1 and I have all the time in the world for the mill. I wouldn't start to panic until it's something like 7, 8, 9 power, and still I have uneasy truths then. It's going to come out, and now it's pretty clear, right, what I'm doing. As soon as Sweet Robin hit play and Schwaig doesn't draw. It's a good character. That actually was not in the original draft. I added it. I thought it's a free character, and if they take cards, great. If they don't, fine as well. No downside. But yeah, deck space pretty tight. Was also looking at Sparrows in case I needed more stall. And I played at the gates, just for Gates of the Moon. That's the only location. And then there was one game in testing where I got it in hand and it was really awkward not to find anything. And I added Gate of the Gods, and I thought, okay, that's a guaranteed location. I could try Sparrows as well, but in the end, didn't find the space really. So here we go again, standing phase. The 2 locations are available. You can get rid of the Lena. Reducer stays in the deck, Acolyte in the discard pile. And yeah, this one is not going to be needed. So do we still have Golden Grow? We do. So we can do it in taxation as well. Yeah, so taking non-character, and then which one is better to get discarded? I guess John has some potential to gain power, so he's going. And Lamb stays in the deck. And now I don't really have to do anything. So I'd like to avoid the Harris. It's there in case opponent is quick with big bodies, but hurts me obviously to put cards back. And the Crown, Sweet Robin's protected anyway by Wing Knight. Uneasy Truce absolutely not needed, and Pointy End has nothing until Fickle Bannerman is in play. So even with close call he beats me. For initiative he had the Maiden, which hurts him a bit because now he has a 0 initiative plot. I could only, with Sweet Robin, take Hand's Judgments and cards like that, but it's up to 2 now because of the Maiden, so he can, if he sees Traitor to the Crown and stuff like that, he can take it. Orton is the priority because he has the chance to stand Golden Grow, and we have a reveal effect in marshalling as well. With this we can play it. And yeah, he sees cards he can remove, fortunately. And now what? Okay, this is a no-brainer. Got the other one as well, the location that stands Queen's Crown for free, and can give my opponent 2 of red keep. And now it's going to go super fast. And Spare Boot is there as well. Can intercept Milks, or can take Glass Candle in the challenges phase so that it can trigger once more. We have Wing Knight, another one, in case something happens to Sweet Robin. And still leaving the gold for potentially playing Lay Waste or You Know Nothing if Renown comes in. We're way over reserve this time. And to be honest, this is where Schwaig could have conceded. So it's not the thing to do for anyone watching who may be a new player or something. You should play it out, and at least that's my personal policy. At least until you can see all the plots, because you never know if the opponent will have some kind of Morgulis that screws them. So make sure that gets revealed, and then once you know really for a fact that there's no way to win, you can concede. Schwaig knows his deck, so if there's no Citadel Archivist, and if there's nothing that could go from 3 to 15 in a few rounds, then game cannot possibly be won. He could have Shadow of the Throne to kneel, Queen's Crown, Westwatch and Golden Grow in one go, but yeah, there's an Orton there as well, and seems really difficult to control location. Seized could help if he had it, but I have Lay Waste for that, so. And he's milked Spareboot. Spareboot simply intercepts milks, right, until he's a milk himself, so can't get Sweet Robin, although still could have milked him, and then Spareboot has to take milk, can't take Glass Candle. And this now available as well to do it in challenges. Again, he finds a card with initiative, with cost lower than the initiative value. Bit lucky. If it was a different kind of deck, playing Close Call, maybe there would be nothing. So Imri is there now. So one time he's available basically to kneel the entire board and try to get 3 unopposed. With 0 claim, because there's nothing on my faction card, so that could go from 3 to 6 and then dominance 7. One time he can do that, but it's not quite enough to win the game, and still I have Shrewd Diplomat and can leave myself gold next round to make sure I have that available at least. Although even that could be stopped in theory. And now we have milk on Orton. That doesn't help really. There's no. Okay, there is a spy in theory to put in, and there are events if I could marshal Littlefinger, but Golden Grow actually is the thing, right? That has the damaging text, because you can kneel Orton to stand something regardless of Orton's text. Shireen there can try to help win power challenges. Now Schwaig is using black cells on left and right, which is maybe slightly misread that, because they don't kneel, and stopping them from kneeling doesn't affect them. They can defend standing. Makes no difference though. Yeah. And that in at the crossroads still there for Bara to draw cards, but yeah. That's actually another card that could be lay wasted, because I then get to search as the owner for something like Westwatch if it's still missing. I actually dropped a copy of that location for this game, but now seeing that might have possibly been a mistake, because it took me a while at the start to find my pieces, and that in at the crossroads drawing 3 cards helped. Without those 3 I actually would still be I'd need to wait to round 3 to find Queen's Crown, because I found it with the Pleasure Barrage trigger in round 2. Just defending because some kind of unopposed could happen with I don't know what. Actually, there's nothing in shadows now. So maybe losing was better. Give my opponent a chance to trigger the red keep, which he is not going to do, so guess it doesn't matter. And this one I can defend. Yeah, change it to power. I was thinking it was intrigue. Even watching now, I was thinking it was going to stay intrigue. Okay. Wasn't really going to try to win it because I'm so much over reserve and nothing in my hand is that valuable. Just trying to keep an eye on dominance. I don't want to win it, particularly because power on my faction card is not something I like, so ideally if you could make it tied, but Edric can manipulate it, so it's not really in my hands. So Orton still standing, which means he can do this in dominance, and we are again here. So we have the standing phase. Yeah, when you get only 2 cards, when you click on them, means that there was only one that Sweet Robin could have removed, and it's already happened automatically. In this case, Dragonstone Faithful. So Golden Grove has been spent this round, which means that now we have this Westwatch for taxation. So basically, we're doing it in almost every single round. You can get Golden Grove in plot and draw phase, then you get after they stand, Queen's Crown naturally triggers, and Westwatch in standing and taxation, so just need marshalling challenges and dominance. There still could be another Golden Grove trigger, and there could be Gift of Arbor Red, the previous card, so uneasy truce, don't need it, but had to play it. And now Schwaig has played to Harris. He is down to 6 cards, which means it would be the final round, but he can put some back now. So the best thing for him to do is just keep Melisandre and Eldon. That's just 2 cards and allows him to put 6 back. Actually, could even choose nothing, put all of them back. I have time, and now 6 cards, and we've put a bunch on the bottom, right? Bunch of characters on the bottom with Queen's Crown, so we pretty much know for a fact almost that Citadel Archivist is not here. It doesn't necessarily stop you though. In fact, it doesn't stop you at all. So we have that Begging Brother that we could play that just stops the trigger, but at some point if it's revealed and having played the Maiden means that Sweet Robin can just get it, can remove it from the game, and then that's gone as an option. But you could in theory get a Citadel Archivist past Sweet Robin with a bit of luck, and then 20 cards would be shuffled back, and now that means we need to mill another 27, but there's 22 minutes left, and honestly I think it could still be done. As long as we could intercept the Archivist next time, can't have it repeated. Yeah, I have this annoying trigger now in marshalling and gets cancelled very sensibly. So now the thing to do really is to marshal this Begging Brother and keep him for anything that could lose me the game. Not really worry about Melisandre triggers and Eldon triggers, just cancel anything that stops me winning, and I have 3 gold left for the Diplomat if it's needed by any chance. So, what can be done? Nothing really. Can let it all be knelt and just concede challenges. Especially now there's uneasy truce as well, so it's not even going with 3 unopposed and dominance, it's not even going to 8 power. Although I guess, yeah, you put power on the faction card with uneasy truce and then you take it back, so unless it's the power challenge, we're not actually gaining much. Have 2 glass candles. And once the locations stand, it's going to be game over. Yeah, Baratheon really is one of the best decks in the game and I enjoy it a lot, and would have beaten so many Tyrell decks here, but against this it's just horrible. Against any kind of combo. I remember Yotam actually played in the World Cup against my Baratheon. He played Lannister Sun with the Sparrows combo, just get all the draw and the Iron Bank. And then in the late game, you play it like this as well, do no challenges, so there's no power to steal. And then in the late game, Sparrows just moves all the power to your cards, and you have the doubting, is it the doubting scepter or whatever it's called, and goofy stuff like that. And just if you don't play a fast deck, and if you have nothing to control with your Baratheon in challenges, it's just yeah, honestly no way to win. And in that game I tried my best. I had the Fickle Bannerman, I rushed like crazy, and I think I got to 13 before I lost, which is more than I got in any of the testing games. So just there's always that chance, right, that you luck out, and there was some here as well. But the fact that that one renowned character that sometimes is played with this agenda is not even here definitely doesn't help. And now what do we have? Nothing in dominance, unfortunately, unless we play lay waste. So we have this in the standing phase, and we know there's just one more character that Sweet Robin can get, and actually it won't allow me to do it here, as you can see. The chat log says I'm revealing top 3, but I don't actually see them revealed. If there is not 3, the Iron Throne doesn't let you do it. It should work, so I could just have a judge call here and say, okay, this is a win. But I was so certain that nothing Schwaig could reveal here would stop him losing in the draw phase. So, or even, yeah, I can't, I still can't do it, right? I still can't do it in the plot phase, even though Golden Grove is there now, because it would just be the same, so I have to wait for the draw phase. But I know it's a win anyway. I did mention this to Steven, that is a problem, but I didn't want to complain publicly or report it publicly too much, because it would give away our plan. And yeah, just apologizing for this really obnoxious deck. I was always going to be some kind of victim of this if we guessed the matchup, and definitely didn't want it to be Schwaig, because he's yeah, one of the best people in the Drows community. And but just how it goes, and happy it worked and got us the win. So that puts us 4-1 up, and with a good chance to get the win from this match. But all the remaining games still are pretty tough, so we are definitely not taking it for granted. So thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it's very possible that you didn't, but hopefully some did. And I will see you all in other videos.